All right, here we go. Day 17. You're doing great. We're going to talk today about being a lifelong learner. I want you to write that down, repeat it. Be a lifelong learner. It's up to you to be educated. It's up to you to be informed. It's up to you to not be ignorant. Let me just tell you, if ignorance really was bliss, we'd see a lot more happy people running around. But ignorance isn't bliss. You have to be a lifelong learner, especially in your walk with God, but in every area of your life, in your marriage, in your kids, in your finances. You have to dedicate your life to studying. You have to dedicate your life to learning, to growing. It's up to you to be educated. It's up to you to be informed. One of my deans in my school was speaking to me about this process, and he talked about a lot of other people who had educational problems. Well, I'm dyslexic, and he would talk about other people who didn't really even know how to read, and he would talk about all these different reasons why other people really couldn't learn, but in spite of that, he challenged them to be a lifelong learner, and in spite of their real reasons, not just excuses, but real reasons, these people studied, these people sought after, these people read, they found a way where there is no way. They made a way because they decided to be a lifelong learner. They wanted it more than the excuse. They wanted it more than a real reason. They wanted to be a lifelong learner because wisdom is what we ought to be seeking. Understanding is what we all need. And God wants to drop knowledge and wisdom in your life because knowledge and wisdom from the Lord is going to help propel your life. Just like Solomon in the Bible. Solomon was number one prayer and request from God was grant me wisdom. And he became one of the wisest men to ever walk this earth. And because of that wisdom, he ruled his nation with incredible intelligence and understanding, and he became one of the wealthiest men ever to live. If you want to have great wealth in your life, if you want to have great influence in your life, if you want to have great leadership in your life, you need to be a lifelong learner. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders better be readers. You ought to read, you ought to understand, you ought to seek and be the lifelong learner. So my challenge to you today is you've been holding that book next to your nightstand, you've been putting it in your car, there's been a lot of books that you've grabbed and they're just collecting dust. Today's the day it all changes. You're gonna grab that book, you're gonna read it all this week, and you're gonna complete that and then start another book. So my challenge to you is pick up the Bible, find a chapter, read it. Pick up that book that's been collecting dust, finish it, because you're going to be a lifelong learner. Again, to review, our lesson today, our devotion today, our challenge today is to be the lifelong learner, to see our life propelled to the prosperity, to the influence, to the leadership that God has called us to. So be encouraged, be the lifelong learner. We'll see you tomorrow.